I never have to go in my inbox ever again. I do all of my email on Claude or on Codex. It works exactly the same with both. And the reason this is so powerful is because these tools are very, very capable orchestrators that can basically go in your browser, run your computer for you, go in your Notion, in your Drive, and do all of those actions that some of your emails require you to do. Before we start, quick intro. My name is Francois. I'm the founder of Pancake AI. Pancake lets you hire a team of agents that run your go-to-market for you. So feel free to check us out if you have any go-to-market issues, if you want to scale your company. Pancake can help you there. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you my screen and let's go in Claude and handle a batch of emails right now. So for this skill to work, you should be using a CLI tool called Google Workspace or GWS. It's an open source public CLI that's in GitHub. So if you don't know what that means, it's totally fine. You just have to put this URL in Claude or in Codex and say to Claude or Codex, install this for me. What it does is it basically allows Claude or Codex to just log into your Drive, Gmail, Google Calendar, and anything Google related through the API. So without going in the browser and to do stuff for you, this will make Claude or Codex much more efficient. And feel free to check it out. Okay, now the way this skill is going to work is it's going to look at your inbox through every single email and propose 3 options out of these 6 options that exist. Basically, archive the email, politely refuse if it's a commercial email, dig deeper. This is really where you want to start working with Claude or with Codex, for example, to fetch more data, to log into a website and do something, to use your computer to actually do something or to draft a reply. This is where you do the most of the work. Just maybe leave the email for later on or forward the email to your bank. In my case, it's Mercury because it's like a receipt or something that you use when you use the company card for. And so this one I use all the time. And the other one is unsubscribe. These 6 options cover 90% of your use cases, but feel free to take this skill, make it your own, and add some more options, remove some options, obviously replace Mercury by your own bank. Okay, now I'm going to show you with a live example. Okay, so I just ran the skill called email flow. You just have to do / email flow, and this will launch the skill. And what it did is it went in my email inbox, found that there was 27 emails. And something that's pretty nice is it actually did a first screening and I have all of those that are no action needed. I have those that are newsletters that you should probably unsubscribe from. And those will probably be needing a deeper sort of work. I actually kind of agree with it. I mean, we'd have to go email by email, but yeah, it has a first kind of screenshots of my email inbox. Now, what I'm going to have to do is I could say, for example, go ahead and archive all the ones that are safe to archive and unsubscribe from those. And let's just focus on the deeper work. That would save me a lot of time. But here in this case, I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 examples by doing them one by one. So let's see. Here it says 1 to 4, the 9 no action threads. It's going to give me a few options. And what I really like about using this in Claude versus in Codex is that you can actually have this little voting system. That's really nice because you can decide to click on either one of them and just save a lot of time. So archive all 9, all except side angels, or let me pick. I think I'm just gonna actually go ahead and then the 3 newsletters, I'm gonna go ahead and unsubscribe versus archive all. And then for the substantive emails, how should I work through them? One at a time, interactive. And this is obviously going to be a dig deeper. And this is an important email. Gusto is an insurance and payment provider. So I'm going to go ahead and do a dig deeper on this one. And it's going to start working. So now it's going to go email by email. And I'm not going to show you all of this because it's obviously becoming very personal. It's very personal and professional email. But something that's really cool to know is that once you start digging into an email, you can basically give Claude or give Codex instructions such as, for example, log in to this website, find the right data for me, do this, do that, just like you would do on everyday tasks. But now it has all the context from your email and it's just able to draft a reply. And I basically do everything from Claude. It's just a huge time saver. I basically don't even think that email UIs will exist in a couple of years or maybe in a few months. Before I end this video, something else that I want to show you to maybe put this in advanced mode to go even further is something that is called the personal brain. I think basically for this to work really well, the more context you give to Claude, the better. And usually when Claude is not able to handle an email for you, it's mostly because Claude is not going to have enough context. So the way you can solve this is by having a personal brain. And I personally like to use something called GBrain, which is plugged into Obsidian. And so GBrain is basically this brain that I have where every time I do a new meeting, so I use Granola as an AI recorder. So Granola is there in every single meeting I have and every call that I make. And every time I have a new call, it generates a new record that appears right there. And these records are then all linked together because when I mention someone in the call, it creates a link to this other record. So all records end up being linked together. I also have a more personal, all the data from my personal life. And so this brain really has all the data it can possibly have about me, about the company I'm running called Pancake. And because of this, Claude knows absolutely everything about me, which allows it to be very, very, very efficient when handling my emails. Now, you don't have to have this. I strongly recommend you have this. I think it's a very good practice in general to have a personal brain, an AI brain. And we're going to be making another video specifically on this tutorial on how to set up your own personal AI brain. Now back to Claude Code. This is obviously an email I can just archive. So if I click here, it's going to archive. Then again, this one, I'm going to archive this one. I'm going to archive this one. And I'm going to archive this one. And so I just did a batch of 4 emails. And if I had said, for example, on one of those emails, I want you to spend a bit more time on it, it would have just put it on the side, continue to ask me questions. And at the end of the batch, it starts executing everything that I asked in different sub-agents. So if I had said for 2 of those emails, I want you to dig deeper, it would have spawned up 2 sub-agents that would have each worked on one email, fetching the right context, understanding what the email is about, and then whipping up drafts. This is it for today. I'm not going to go into much more detail, obviously, because these emails are very private, but I hope this was useful to you. This is just basically a very simple skill file, the result of a lot of iteration that I did, but you should make it yours. So you should modify it. You should probably change the 6 options, maybe add a new one, maybe remove some, maybe change the flow a little bit and make it yours. There you go. I hope it helped and I hope you enjoyed.